picture frame measures 20 centimeters by 14. The picture inside the frame takes up 160 square centimeters. We need to find the width of the frame that surrounds the picture. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a visual of the problem statement. We have a frame, right? And this frame measures 20 by 14. Inside this frame we have a picture, and this picture, which will be represented by this one, has an area of 160 square centimeters. Right? We need to find the width of the frame that surrounds the picture. So what they want is this little thickness right here, or width, which is the same throughout. Okay? Find the width of the frame that surrounds the picture. So we want to find out what this X value is. Now let's try to understand this problem. They gave you the area of the picture. So the equation that you write has to be with respect to the picture. So we know that the area is 160. We need the length of the picture, and we need the width of the picture. Now that was not given to us. They gave you the length of the frame. You need to find the length of the picture, which is this one right here. Well, how do you find it? Well, it's going to be 20 minus this X and minus this X, right? If you take the 20, if we take away that X, we're left with the length of just the picture. So the length is going to be 20 minus 2X. The width of the picture is going to be, you have the 14, which is the frame, and if you take away this X and that X, you're left with the width of the picture. So it's going to be 14 minus 2X. So area is defined as length times width. So area is going to be 20 minus 2X times 14 minus 2X. And now this is multiplication, and I'm going to go ahead and use the box method. Multiply this out. So 20 negative 2X, 14 minus 2X. Now remember, we have multiplied this and this, so 20 times 14 is 280. 14 times negative 2 is negative 28X. 20 times negative 2 is negative 40X. Negative 2X times negative 2X is positive 4X squared. And if I collect these terms, I get 4X squared. These are like terms. Negative 28 plus a negative 40 is a negative 68X, plus this constant over here plus 280. So the area is 4X squared minus 68X plus 280. This right here is this part. Write a formula that describes the area of the picture. So this is number 1. Number 2 says solve for this width of the frame that surrounds the picture. So now they want you to solve for X. So now you have to use the fact that the area equals 160. So 160 equals 4X squared minus 68X plus 280. We want to make sure that we have 0 on the left hand side, so we're going to subtract 160. So we have 0 equals 4X squared minus 68X. 280 minus 160 is 120. And now we're going to use the quadratic formula to solve this problem. So when I look right here, I identify, I'm going to write over here just so that I don't run out of room. I identify that A is 4, because I'm pointing to it right here. that B is negative 68, that C is 120. I'm going to find my discriminant, B squared minus 4AC naught. So negative 68 squared minus 4 times 120. And when I plug that in the calculator, I got 2,704. Now I'm going to use the quadratic formula. And let's make sure y'all don't forget what the quadratic formula is x equals the opposite of b, right? So my b is negative 68. So what's the opposite of this number? A positive 68. Plus or minus the square root of my discriminant, which is 2704, over 2 times my a value, which happens to be a 4. And in my calculator, I got a 15 and a 2. Now we're going to try to make some sense of these answers. Now think about it. If x right here were to be a 15, that means the length is going to be 20 minus 2 times 15, which will be 30. 20 minus 30 is a negative 10. You can't have a negative length. It doesn't make sense. Length has to be positive. When you measure things, you start off at 0. So 15 can't be an answer. 2 is the only one that makes sense. So if the frame is 20, this would be 20 minus 2 times 2, which is 4, would be 16. If the width is 14, 14 minus 4 would be 10. So the answer is 2 centimeters.